This is day 6. We've woken up in the garden of the King's Arms pub. Oh, there's Lisa in the tent. Good morning.
Good morning.
And we're aiming for Smardale Bridge today, which is 16 miles. Just trying out some condensation gear and breakfast in the pub at 8:30. Right, let's get ready. King's Arms pub. Breakfast for a £5. Camp for a £5. It's amazing. It's 9:30 in the morning. This is day 6 and we're going from Shap to
Smardale Bridge.
Smardale Bridge. Nice one. Where would we be without the infamous map girl? Cool beans. Right, so let's find our way onto the trail. We've got about 16 miles to do, which will probably end up being 18 or 20. Opposite this telephone box, go up that road there. Another little view of the Lake District on our right. Big ugly factory up ahead, and we're going to hit the M6 soon. In the Lake Districts we had nice gates to go through. Now we're having to climb over things as we approach the Yorkshire Dales. Okay, this really is bye-bye lakes. M6! Babylon! Ah! Big boulder. This little area here, this dike and those stones over there, is known as Robin Hood's grave. Robin Hood wasn't actually buried here. He's not meant to be his grave, and I don't think anyone knows why it's called Robin Hood's grave, but on the map this is called Robin Hood's grave. There's more signposts for Wainwright's coast to coast on this little section out of Shap than there is in the entire Lake District. Oh, it's a bit of a climb. Wonder what's over that brow. Day 6 of coast to coast. Shap to Smardale Bridge. Seems to be through sheep field after sheep field. I can't believe it's day 6 already. You can't believe it's day 6.
Oh, sorry. No, I can't believe it's day 6.
Let's have a foot report. Well, right now I've got aches in my feet and my calves are on fire. Lisa, do you want to tell people about your feet?
Oh,
You've got the toenail hanging off, haven't you?
my two big toes are really, really sore. One of them's just double the size and practically black and probably going to lose its toenail.
Does not sound good.
It's not, and it's very painful.
We're just walking on now to where?
Smardale Bridge.
No, but before
the
that.
first bit,
yeah.
Sunbiggin.
Sunbiggin. We're hopefully going to plonk down and have something to eat in Sunbiggin. Don't really fancy plonking down and eating in the sheep fields, because sheep have ticks. And they've got loads of ticks in England at the minute. So, yeah, we're just plodding on. It's quite pretty. It really is gorgeous. But, oh, here's the road. We finally found the road. Right, okay, so it's left. And then just up that road there to Sunbiggin. That took ages to get to that road, but we're doing all right. Happy days. When you haven't got the energy to open a gate. Go on. I'm being mean, I should help. Ow. I'll close it. Thank you. Well, go on, man. See you later. Are you the daddy? We found Sunbiggin farm. Could be an honesty box. Honesty shop. Oh yeah, we could camp there, couldn't we? Cans 80p, tea 90, coffee, flapjack 70, cakes 60. It's not overly priced, and they seem to have won a lot of prizes. Right, let's have a look what they got in that fridge then. A big shout out to the people of Sunbiggin. I've got myself all of this for £4. Should have been £3.90. 60p a chocolate bar, 70p a flapjack, 80p a can of Coke. Very reasonably priced. Oof, and what a welcome stop. I've also used a kettle to fill up my naked noodles. Today I'm trying Hosen duck. They're very sophisticated. But this place, amazing. How very Hadrian's Wall of them. West side. West side Hadrian's Wall. This is it. Great. This is the first honesty sort of place we've come across on Coast to Coast, isn't it? Yeah. Smash him. So, time to kick back for half an hour, get revitalised, and then head off to Smardale Bridge, where we're hoping to throw our tent down. But we'll see what happens there. Just crossed Orton Fells. That's that expanse there. Bit marshy in places, but you could camp. Loads of places to camp. I reckon you'd be golden camping there. No one's going to bother you. And now we turn right and follow the road for a bit. The bleak, mysterious beauty of Orton Fells. Crossing a bit more of it. There's loads of it. You think it's like Dartmoor?
Yeah, a lot, without the stones.
Very close to Smardale Bridge. Interesting old boarded up house. People long gone. That's Smardale Bridge, which is hopefully going to be home for the night. This is it, home for the night. And there we have it, pitched up in front of Smardale Bridge. Home for the night. What time is it? 5 to 8. We've just got some food on. We'll have our food. There's midges about. They're not the biting type, I don't think, but I have lit a load of joss sticks just to ward them off. See if that works. The whole place smells of citronella at the moment. So, time to eat some food, maybe have a hot chocolate. But look at our surroundings. Is it a full moon?
I hope not.
Why?
I might turn into a werewolf.
Map Girl's been doing some research about the bridge.
So I watched a video on YouTube, can't remember who it was at the moment, but he told me that this bridge, Smardale Bridge, was the only trading passageway from one side of the valley to the other side. And then they built a viaduct, which is down that way. Day 6 from Shap to Smardale Bridge. We woke up here at the King's Arms, where we've had a gorgeous breakfast, and then we walked back up onto the track and continued to follow the track across the M6. Following the track here through some lovely countryside is the first sign we see for the Yorkshire Dales. We continue to Oddendale. Around here there's lots of big boulders and rocky stones. We continue to follow the path through to Robin Hood's grave. There's a few pictures that you can have before there, picture tent. And then just after this road here, this is all sheep farm. Lovely, lovely terrain, nice to walk on through lots of fields until you get to Sunbiggin, where we found a lovely honesty box. We filled up on snacks and had a lovely cup of tea. Before continuing on through Orton Fells. Again, really nice, lovely terrain. And then finally found Biggin Hill, where you come down and get to Smardale Bridge, where we're camped up.
Coast to coast. A lot of condensation in this tent. Oh, Smardale Bridge. Good morning. The start of the big pack down. My sleeping bag's already down. Roll mat next. And we get everything out of the tent before we chamois it. I don't know if you can see the condensation running down. It's doing its job. Doing my morning chores. Do you know what? It's not wet on the outside. It's all on the inside. How weird. There's no dew on the tent. Wait there. On the inside. a Lanshan too for you. See that? Oh wow, man, that's just 2 swipes as well. Right, I'll see you in 10 minutes. Kit load out, kit inspection, repack, coffee, porridge, tents airing. We'll be over that bridge in a little bit and up that hill with an H. Don't worry fellas, I'll leave no trace. You'll be alright. Everything you need for a hearty breakfast. Filter water with the grail, boil it in the jet boil, put some porridge and some goji berries in your Huel cup, and you're ready to go. That's where we camped. Leave no trace. Wouldn't know we were here. How do? Bang on 9 o'clock. We're leaving Smardale Bridge. What's the name of the campsite we're going to? Yorkshire Gap and
Keld.
Which is the halfway point?
Yeah.
Cool. So if this is day 7, we're on course for finishing in 13, 14 days?
Yeah, hopefully.
What's the highlight of today?
So we're going to Kirkby Stephen, which is a big town where we can get some supplies. And after Kirkby Stephen we've got a big climb, about 700 metres I think, to the 9 standard rigs, which we're looking forward to.
No one knows why they're there or who put them there.
No.
It's a mystery.
Probably so.
As Toya said.
I like it.
So, this is a bit of a climb to start the morning.
We should be in Kirkby Stephen in 3 miles.
Oh, cool. Maybe a cup of tea.
So we don't, yeah. Nice cup of tea.
Sweet. Smardale Viaduct to the right. I'm probably going to have to zoom in later. That's it there. And which one's that? Is that the working one or the not working one?
It was 2. That's the not working one. So after Smardale Bridge they built that one, then closed it and then built another one further down.
But we'll have to come back another day and explore, but we've got to carry on up that hill, haven't we? This is the climb up the hill just after Smardale Bridge, and what you can hear is all the ground nesting birds. They don't want you to disturb. So we've arrived at Kirkby Stephen and we're just looking for a cafe. Go in and use the toilet, get something to eat maybe. It's quite a busy little town. This is our choice of cafe, the White Hare Cafe. There's walkers welcome. We've got a very nice welcome, the bloke's very friendly. And I'm going to go in there and get a cooked breakfast.
Yeah, just have it really quick so to get to that there, it's a big cop, come to the right side, turn right at the cafe, where the coach is.
To get back on the coast to coast from Kirkby Stephen, we're having to go down this little twitton. You can see the hills in the distance. So here at Kirkby Stephen, we've done 82 miles from St Bees and we've got left to do 108 miles to Robin Hood's Bay.
stop panting.
I can't even actually believe it. We're not even actually there even. They're over there behind me somewhere. Oof. If I close my eyes, I'm seeing blue dots. I wonder if that's a medical condition. Oof. That is one hell of a climb. Tap my watch. Oh, hang on. We've been climbing for nearly 2 hours. The guy in the cafe said it was a 2-hour climb. We're nearly there. But we are just sitting on this little slate benchy thing and we are surveying our land. We own all this. People of the earth. This is ours. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 little standards, all of different shapes and sizes. Hey, sun's out. Right now I'm walking through marshy moorland, and these heathery bits are okay. If you stand on them, I'm not really sinking. If you get into any of those green bits, your foot goes underneath the water. If I had anything else other than these waterproof boots on, I'd be soaking now. But it's difficult to know which way to go because there's no actual path. So fortunately I've got this GPS device which is telling me, which I mapped out before I left. It's telling me where the path is and which general direction to go. But if the mist came down up here, oof, you could get yourself well lost walking round and round in circles. This is inside this black hut. Oh, some tables.
It's kind of needed for people getting lost.
Tell you what, if you got lost. Did you enjoy this bog, it says on that window? Well, it's been okay. I mean, this is the black hut. If you were stuck and had enough, you could crash in here. Oh, that'd be your view. Oh, well, after hours, I can say goodbye to that bogging bog. I don't know if it was horrible or good fun. It made my mind up yet. Hard work, definitely. It's about 7 o'clock and we were on it for hours, but we're on terra firma now, so we're making faster ground. Hit this road and left. Over that way. The sun's going down. It's about 7:30. Keep coming across lots and lots of abandoned farmhouses made out of old slate and stone. There's another one there. I love the colours on these hills when the sun sets on them. There's another abandoned building. Who lived there? Why don't they live there anymore? How long has it been abandoned? I just found a nice gentleman who's going to tell me a bit of the history of this building.
It's called Auntie John,
Uh-huh.
which stands for Anthony John Clarkson. If you press into the Google, will tell you he did all the mapping in this area. Quite a famous fella. He drew all the government maps for all the enclosures for when they started enclosing all the commons. It's now owned by Amanda at Ravenseat, Yorkshire Shepherdess, as in a TV programme, if you've seen that.
Oh no, right, okay, I'll look that up as well.
On telly quite a bit, is
Right,
this?
is it?
Yeah.
The Yorkshire Shepherdess?
Yorkshire Shepherdess, last series, Our Yorkshire Farm it was called, Channel 5.
Can you see, it's alright to be on?
Yeah, fine. Channel 5, it's finished now, like, but you'll see their last series, it was showing lots of photos of this. It's going to get renovated to be made back into an house again.
Because there's so many on this little pathway that...
This is a house though, whereas
Right.
most of them are barns.
Oh, okay, right.
But they're not barns really, they're actually called cowasses, is what they're called, because they used to have cows in them.
Right, okay.
That's the reason why they're called cowasses.
And I was thinking, like, why don't any more of them get done up? And I'm thinking, well, maybe the farmers don't own the land.
Protected. No, they're protected.
Right, so
You're not allowed to do anything with them.
Ah, wow. So just...
You're in a national park and the cowasses in fields. And a fair few years, 20 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, there were lots of grants put out to renovate them all. It's part of the Smardale fabric of
Right.
the landscape sort of thing. But there were, because each field pretty much has got a barn in it.
Yeah.
And when you used to mow the hay in July time, you used to store the hay in the barn, and then in the winter, in the summer, your cows would be out up on the moors, or in some other pastures. And then in the winter, you put the cows in the barn, and you'd feed them the hay what's in there. And they used to muck them out twice a day,
Right.
sort of thing, water them twice a day. And they used to actually go and milk them in the barn itself. So if you looked at some old farmers, they actually have a milk churn on the back, which is a strap on the back.
Mm-hmm.
They used to walk around the fields and milk each individual cow in the cowasses.
But somehow, for this one, they're allowed to do it up.
No, it was an house.
Oh, because it's a house.
They're
right.
not houses.
Right.
That's a cowas. On the end there, half of it's a cowas.
Right, okay.
So if you were to look in there's some cow briars.
So when I come back here in what, 5 or 10 years? 2 years? How long do you reckon?
Don't know.
Right.
Don't know.
It's going to be £1 million house, isn't it?
Well, no, 500 if you're lucky, to be fair.
Right.
It's not very big. Last lived in about
Yeah.
1890.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, over 100 years old, the last person. And that's the gentleman that did all the mapping?
It was his family.
Right.
It was one of his family, actually, who were the last people. He did the mapping in about 1820, somewhere around
Wow.
there. As I say, Anthony.
Thanks so much.
Anthony
Your dogs
John
are beautiful,
Clarkson.
by the way. They look really healthy. The skin, the coats on them are amazing.
No, they are.
And where do you live? What have you got?
Next one you come to,
Oh, right, wicked.
200 metres.
Right, nice one.
All right,
And what's your name?
Richard.
Richard, I'm Neil. Thanks, Richard.
Cheers, buddy.
Nice one.
Have a nice
Very
one.
interesting. Cheers, man. Wow, well, there you go. Answers. Nice man.
Kirkby Stephen, 10 mile. My house. 18.5 or 16.5. Take away the 2 we walked round Kirkby Stephen.
We've walked 18 miles today so far. Still a bit to go. We're not staying in yurt heaven. We're staying in the next one along. I hope it's the next one along. So we're at Usher Gap campsite. I don't know what you can see, but a fish and chip van turns up. I'll show you.
Man, just ignore the fact that my feet are in the face.
You get fish and chips. There's our tent over there. It's all a bit dark. It's a full moon though, but it's clouded over. We've got ourselves a fire pit, fish and chips, bottle of wine. Sit here and enjoy that. Well, the chips are lovely, nice and crispy, as is the batter. You know, sometimes you can't eat all the batter because it's a bit soggy, but that's not the case. I'm going to eat all of that batter, and I'll sat right in front of that fire. I sat right next to Map Girl. We haven't had a shower yet. I need to have a shower. We've got some gravy as well. And wine. Right, let's have a sip of that wine. Bloody marvellous. How are you doing? No. Do you like it? So Lisa's feet were killing her today. We went into a shop and she thought about packing up her boots and sending them home and buying a pair of trail runners.
Yeah.
How would you have felt walking through
What we
down
bought
from
today?
the 9 standards in a pair of trainers or a pair of trail
It
runners?
just cost me 100 and
It's just cost you 140 quid because that was the cheapest pair.
they were brand new.
Would you have been happy? Are you happy now you kept your boots, or would you wish you still had? You wish you were trail runners?
No, I'm glad I kept my boots.
Well, that's the answer. Just as simple
That's
as
it,
that.
as simple as that. What more is there to say? Okay, so if you want me to go in. My boots still hurt like bloody hell anyway,
Yeah.
but, well, and my feet got wet actually.
Only because you went nearly knee deep.
No, I don't think it was. It wasn't because of that.
I
But,
can't imagine doing that down from the 9 standards in trail runners. It would just be horrible. My
Yeah, but they might have dried out
my
by now.
Scarpa boots, my leather boots, have kept my feet dry.
Well, mine didn't.
Because you
but
went-
I don't think it was.
Because you went swimming. You
I
went.
did not go swimming. I stopped myself before I got to that point. I did not go swimming.
But to go back to your original short answer, you're happier with the boots.
Yeah.
Because some people are going to be happier with trail runners, and I can't imagine it myself. But hey.
I don't know. Right now.
Okay, what would you feel like now if we were stranded on that moor now? I'd be pooing myself.
I would be scared. Yeah, I was scared. Were you not scared? At
No, because
any
I
point?
knew that we'd get off in time.
Well, there was points in that I did feel scared. We were going in one direction, and I felt we were meant to be going in another.
I suppose head for the tarn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, if all else fails, you can see the tarn. Just keep heading for that.
So that's our last logs on the fire. We're going to watch these logs go out, have a shower, get into bed.
Yeah, and then we're going to do a alternative route in the morning.
Low route, because the Usher campsite is wicked.
Usher's great. Yeah, it's brilliant. And she stayed up, didn't she, waiting for us to get here.
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
Shop's packed full of goodies.
Farm reared meat.
Yeah, and their own farm reared meat.
And we're drinking wine, and then we're going to have a shower. And that log goes.
Feeling comfy about it.
So night world. End of day 7. We are at the halfway point of the coast to coast, and we've got a full moon. If I turn that round up there, there it is, full moon. Night world.
Day 7 from Smardale Bridge to Usher Gap. So we set off this morning, and after about a mile in, if you have a look back, you can see the viaduct, which is a really lovely view. A steady climb up then up to Green Rigs, and then a nice steady decline down to Kirkby Stephen, where we stopped and had some lunch. Then there's a little twitton that you have to go through, and a nice little river that you follow, and then following the path round Hartley quarries, and then begins the climb, really steep climb up to 9 standards. There's the point there, 9 standards rigs, where we stopped to have lunch, and then continued on from there on this path, the May to June path, but it's not clear. It's lovely and slabbed for the first bit, and then it disappears, and then you're just through constant bog and horrible marshland, really difficult terrain. Took a really long time following the road, well, some sort of path towards a little hut here where we stopped for a break because it was really difficult. Carried on from there to Ravenseat, which is the home of the Yorkshire Shepherdess, and then continuing from there. This is a really lovely scenery all around here, all the way to Keld. Got on across the river and onto the road to Keld, and thought our campsite was there, but unfortunately it wasn't. And then we had to continue on along the road all the way down to the bottom here, where we found our campsite, where we are now having fish and chips and a glass of wine. It's a lovely campsite.
This is where we've woken up at Usher Gap campsite. It's a farm. There's lots of people camping here. Trailers and camper wagons and tents. It's a great campsite, good facilities, I'd recommend it. And because we've made it this far, well, that's where we had the fire last night. Because we've made it this far, Usher Gap is a bit further down, it's towards the low road. So we're going to aim for Marrick Priory today, taking the low road, which is up there, walking along the River Swale. Leaving Usher Gap campsite, following the path to Mucker,
Yeah.
Swaledale Woolens. I think we're in Mucker. We're looking for the River Swale. So we've left the campsite, we found Mucker, we've gone through Mucker, we found the path that takes you to the river, but disconcertingly it takes you the opposite way in which you want to go. But apparently we've got to go this way, find a bridge, cross the bridge, and then we can start to go back in the way we want to go. And the gates are made for like pixies and elves to get through. So with your rucksack on, this one's not so bad, but I've had to it's alright for Lisa, look, it just dives through. The Keld back that way is the halfway point of the coast to coast, and right now we're going to follow the river to Gunnerside, Reeth and Marrick Priory. Bridge over the River Swale. Beautiful day, the mist has cleared. We're walking along the River Swale, ambling really. This is Gunnerside, King's Head pub, but we're going to go to the tea room. This way. Well, we came back to the King's Head. I've got a steak sandwich. Lisa's got a bacon sandwich. Because the lady around the cafe was a bit rude.
Yep. Didn't deserve our custom.
I get the feeling that Mucker and Gunner's side is a posh area and they'd clamp down hard on your wild camping. But there maybe, it's the first place. We can't see any houses. If you arrived late and leave early, I reckon you get away with that. A mile after Gunnerside we are now. Well, we've reached the square in Reeth. We're just going to have a look around. So we've had a pint in Reeth. We're now just following the road to Marrick Priory. It could be Marrick Priory. Marrick Priory's through there. The river's there. And we've gone through a farm up the top there and walked down this hill. This area is fenced off. We're just going to plonk here for the night. Hopefully, in the morning we'll have to go back up the hill and rejoin the coast to coast. There's a farmhouse up there. I hope this isn't their land. It seems to be fenced off and public, so we're going to give it a go. We'll keep here for the night. It's very peaceful. Right, got the tent pitched. It's about 8:30. It's an early night. We should be fairly shattered. Pitched right by the river. Can't really see much in this light, so I'll sign off. Say good night.
So day 8 from Usher Gap to Marrick Priory. So we woke up here, Usher Gap, and made our way up towards Mucker and joined the coast to coast low route, following the River Swale, which is through lots of meadow country, which Mucker is famous for, and it's really beautiful, really easy terrain to Gunnerside, where we stopped at the King's Inn, and Neil apparently had the best chips ever with his steak sandwich, and I had a fried egg butty, before carrying on along the river all the way through Smardale up to Reeth, where we met back up with the coast to coast high path or high route. Stopped here and had a pint and an ice cream, and then continued on along the road. So this is a lot of road walking from Reeth to Marrick Priory, which is over here, and then we cut down from Marrick Priory and towards the River Swale, where we pitched up for the night. And that's today done.
6:30 in the morning. We've woken up on a slightly dank morning near Marrick Priory in a field by the river. We slept really well and it's time to pack up and get on our way. Day 9 and we're on our way to somewhere near Leyland's farm. Left no trace. Let's go up that hill. Little sense of humour. The North Yorkshire Dales, the land of the stupid gates. It's a misty morning on the Yorkshire Dales. Just past Marrick on the way to Mask on the coast to coast path. There's a campsite and we camped down by the river at Marrick, but we might have used that if we'd have known about it, but it's not on the map or anything.
I hear somebody up there.
That's the type of church I like. The church of St Edmund's the Martyr. Just after where we had breakfast. If we'd have known about it, we would have had breakfast there, but we've got some new bars, some flapjacks and some chocolate to eat, keep us going throughout the day. And that church is open every day if you need snacks, because there's going to be far and few between places between now and, well, yeah, Richmond. Well, so far the Yorkshire Dales have been very pleasant. Nicely undulating, up and down a bit, but nowhere near as hard on the feet as the Lake District. Much greener and lusher. Just on the whole, a very jolly experience. Happen you be Priory camping by this trig here. Nice and flat, beautiful view in the morning. Sorted. Coast to coast sign, but here's a find. Camino Inglés to Santiago. So, what do I know about that? There's several caminos that all end up in Santiago de Compostela in Spain, and you can go from France, Germany, Portugal, England, Ireland. I never thought I'd see a sign here for one, and Lisa just asked me what's at Santiago de Compostela when you get there, and as far as I know it's James, one of the 12 disciples that was sat round in the Last Supper. He's buried there. There's a big church and everybody walks there as a pilgrimage and ends up in Santiago de Compostela in Spain. Never thought I'd see a sign for it in England. Wow. St Bees is 113.5 miles away. Robin Hood's Bay is 76.5 miles away. And at this point where it says Richmond there, we've pitched a tent to air it out. It was all wet from dew this morning and condensation. Come on now, you're back to where you're meant to be. You're not meant to be here. Koi, geezer, come on. Oh. Come on, you are not meant to be out of that field, I'm pretty sure. Let's get you back in the field. That's it. Oi, you, brave one. Don't make me come over there. Come on. Get in. In you get. Come on. Come on. In. Come on, dude. You're the last one. Come on.
Quick, get the gate!
Right, stay there, brave boy.
How did they escape?
I think the farmer left the gate open.
Oh, and then as you walked along,
They were following us.
yeah.
Yes, you're good sheep. Well done for getting back in there. Appreciate your cooperation. You did really well. Now we're going now. We'll probably never see you again. So have a nice life. See you later. Well, I'm a shepherd now. Richmond. From the hill. This is where we're going to stop and have something to eat. Granny's kitchen. I've been after a ploughman's lunch for years. Chips to go, have a ploughman's lunch. This is a very nice cafe. Leaving Richmond, the main coast-to-coast route takes you along a road, a busy road, but if you go to the station and find the dismantled railway line, which is what we're on now, it goes in the same direction, a lot nicer, a lot safer. Right, I've no idea what's going to happen next, but that's the A1 there. Nice slice of Babylon. There's a river down here, and hopefully we go under it, not over it. Well, thank goodness for that. We're going underneath the A1. Just under the A1, Catterick Bridge, Catterick race course over there. I reckon you could wild camp here if you wanted to, without being disturbed. Well, we were going to have a quick half in the Bridge House Hotel, but as you can see, it's not going to happen. There's another quarry through there, filled with water. So after the race course, on the way to Leyland's farm, there's a little bit near nothingness. Loads of midges, loads of quarries, loads of private land. So we're going to keep going now. I think this is Brompton on Swale we're approaching, and then Bolton on Swale, then Leyland's farm I think, and then we're going to look for somewhere to camp. Don't know if you can camp on Leyland's farm or not. We're going to see how the land lies. Well, after walking nearly 18 miles today, we walked up a lane to a farm, and we knocked the door and asked if we could pitch, if there was still a campsite, and they said there weren't a campsite anymore, but we could pitch on their lawn. So we give them a £10 contribution. We're going to get into bed and get off early in the morning.
Day 9 from Marrick Priory to Leyland's farm. So a steady climb up through farmland, some dry stone walling and teeny tiny gates up to Marske. There's a nice church at Marske where you can stock up on some snacks before a bit of a steep climb up to a trig point at Applegarth. Continuing along here, it's really nice, flat, lush green lands. Go through a little wood here before the downhill into Richmond. Stopped at Richmond and had a ploughman's at Granny's Kitchen before leaving Richmond, where we found here at this little car park a dismantled railway that is a really nice track rather than the road, and a lot safer to go on. Continuing to follow the river Swale all the way up to Catterick, where you have to go underneath the A1, and then there's another little bridge by a pub that is no longer in use, and there's some wild camping spots there possibly. Carrying on the river Swale all the way to Bolton on Swale before carrying on down here and leaving the track to get to Leyland's farm, which shows on here a campsite, but it's not anymore, although they let us stay for the night.